This person was given a secret test from God regarding you, and you will not believe why they failed. There are specific times in life when someone enters your world. It is not by accident or simple luck, but by divine design. You did not imagine the connection you felt. You did not overthink the signs you saw. You were not wrong for feeling that something about this person was different. The truth is that God gave this person a hidden test about you, and they did not even realize they were being tested. Before we discuss why they failed, you must understand something very important. This test was never about being perfect. It was not about money, looks, age, status, or timing. It was about the heart. It was the test they did not know they were taking. God often tests people quietly, not with loud signs or dramatic warnings, but with subtle moments. These moments are so small that most people overlook them. This person was tested by how they treated you when you were vulnerable. You were patient during that time. You did not make demands or chase them. You simply showed up as your true self. When God sends someone into your life who carries light, wisdom, or emotional depth, not everyone knows how to handle that gift. That is where the test begins. You were the mirror they were afraid to look into. Here is something few people talk about. Sometimes God sends a person not to complete us, but to reveal what is unhealed inside someone else. Your presence triggered things in them, such as old wounds, fear of commitment, fear of losing control, and the fear of being truly seen. You did not hurt them or confuse them. You simply reflected them. Instead of growing, they resisted. That resistance, that emotional pulling away, and that inconsistency was the test. That was the first way they failed. They chose comfort over growth. God was watching how they would respond to emotional depth. Would they rise to the occasion or retreat? You required honesty, emotional courage, and presence. Instead of stepping into maturity, they chose what felt easy. They chose distance over discussion, silence over truth, and ego over humility. Growth is uncomfortable, and this person was not ready to grow. They failed not because they were evil, but because they were unprepared. The second way they failed was that they did not protect what was sacred. When God places someone valuable in your life, the test is simple. Do you protect them or do you take them for granted? This person was tested by how they spoke about you, how they treated your emotions, and whether they defended the connection or doubted it. Instead of honoring what God placed in front of them, they questioned it. Instead of nurturing the bond, they neglected it. God notices neglect just as much as betrayal. The third way they failed was that they let fear make their decisions. Fear is one of the biggest reasons people fail divine tests. There is the fear of commitment, the fear of responsibility, the fear of losing freedom, and the fear of not being enough. Rather than giving that fear to God, they listen to it. When fear becomes the voice you follow, you walk away from blessings without even realizing it. They did not lose you because they did not care. They lost you because they did not trust what God was doing. This had nothing to do with your worth. Please listen carefully to this part. Their failure was not a reflection of your value. You were the assignment and they were the student. Not everyone passes the test. Some people meet destiny and panic. Some people meet love and run away. Some people meet divine alignment and sabotage it. You were steady, real, and patient. That means you passed your part. Just because the test is over does not mean the story is finished. God works in layers. Right now, you are being protected, elevated, and redirected. They are being taught a lesson. Whether they realize it or not, life is now showing them the lesson they refused to learn through you. Regret is a powerful teacher. Silence can be loud, and absence can awaken the truth. Will they realize what they lost? Often the answer is yes, but realization does not always mean getting back together. Sometimes God allows people to understand the value of something only after it is gone. This happens not so they can reclaim it, but so they can grow from it. Sometimes God removes someone because they would have delayed your destiny. The real blessing was not them, it was the revelation. You gained clarity, strength, and discernment. Now you are no longer available for halfway love, mixed signals, or emotional confusion. You are aligned with something higher now, and God does not test the same level twice. Here is a final message for you. If you are listening to this, understand that you were never meant to beg for what God already approved. The person failed the test not because you were too much, but because they were not ready for what you carried. Trust the process and trust the removal. Trust the silence. What God is preparing next will not require you to question your worth. When the right person comes, there will be no confusion, no fear, and no running. There will only be peace. Welcome to Psychology Fact. If you are curious about the hidden truths of the mind and heart, make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon so you never miss a fact that could change the way you see the world. When someone fails a divine test involving you, the story does not end with their exit. In fact, that is usually when your true elevation begins. You might be wondering why God allowed you to invest so much energy into someone who wasn't ready to keep up. The reason is simple: you were being sharpened. Every moment of patience you showed and every ounce of love you gave was not wasted. It was deposited into your own character. While they walked away with a lesson they weren't ready for, you walked away with a strength you didn't know you had. Now, you must understand the concept of divine space. When God removes someone who failed their test, He creates a vacuum in your life. It is very common to feel a sense of loss or emptiness during this stage, but you must not try to fill that space with old memories or new distractions. This space is sacred. It is where God works on your discernment. You are currently in a season of transition where your standards are being rewritten. You are learning that being chosen is not just about someone wanting you, but about someone being prepared to handle the weight of your soul. The person who failed is now entering a cycle of reflection. Life has a way of repeating the same test with different faces until the lesson is learned. They will likely encounter the same fears and the same patterns in others, only to realize that the peace they had with you was rare. But you must not wait for their realization. Your journey is moving forward, not in a circle. God is preparing to introduce you to someone who has already passed their own hidden tests. This next person won't see your depth as a threat or a mirror to be feared. They will see it as a safe harbor. The silence you are experiencing now is not a punishment. It is a protective barrier. It is God's way of making sure you don't settle for a lower version of love ever again. You have outgrown the level where you have to explain your value to people. You are being moved into a room where your presence is honored, not just tolerated. Stay steady in your faith and keep your heart open, because the person who is coming will be an answer to the prayers you haven't even prayed yet. The test is over, the lesson is learned, and your true reward is finally on its way. As you move forward, you might feel the urge to look back and wonder if they finally understand what they lost. You must realize that their awareness is no longer your responsibility. When God closes a door after a failed test, it is often locked for your protection. If you keep trying to peek through the keyhole, you will miss the wide open gate standing right in front of you. This period of your life is about reclaiming the energy you once poured into a connection that could not hold it. You are taking your power back from the hands of someone who did not know how to carry it. The growth you are experiencing right now is making you unrecognizable to your past. This is why you cannot go back, and this is why they cannot catch up to you. You have moved into a new frequency. When you pass your part of the test by staying graceful and choosing yourself, God begins to upgrade your surroundings. You will notice that your interests are changing, your peace is becoming non-negotiable, and your soul is no longer attracted to chaos. You are being prepared for a divine partnership that requires two people who have both done the internal work. While you are waiting for the next chapter to unfold, focus on the relationship you have with yourself. This is the time to pour that same deep, patient love you gave to someone else back into your own heart. God is showing you that you are enough on your own, and that any person added to your life should be a blessing, not a burden. The silence you hear is actually the sound of the old chapters fading away so that the new ones can begin. Do not be afraid of the quiet. In that quiet, you will hear the voice of your intuition getting louder and clearer than ever before. Your future is not a repeat of your past. The person who is destined for you will not need a hidden test to treat you with respect. They will come with their own light, and together you will build something that fear cannot tear down. Everything you went through with the person who failed was just a bridge to get you to this level of maturity. You are stronger, wiser, and more ready than you have ever been. Trust that the universe has not forgotten your kindness or your loyalty. Your story is leading toward a beautiful conclusion that will make every difficult moment make perfect sense. You might still wonder if the person who failed will ever change, or if they will eventually regret their choices. While it is natural to want closure, you must realize that their journey is now separate from yours. God often uses separation to teach people the lessons they refused to learn while they were close to you. Your absence is actually the loudest message they have ever received. By walking away and staying in your peace, you are allowing them to face the consequences of their own decisions. This is the only way true growth happens, but you cannot stay around to watch it. The next step in your journey is about total emotional freedom. This means reaching a point where you no longer need them to apologize or understand your side of the story. You are learning to give yourself the closure that they couldn't provide. When you stop looking for answers from the person who hurt you, you open up space for God to fill your life with new joy. You will start to notice that you are attracting different types of people, those who are secure, honest, and ready for something real. This is proof that you have leveled up and passed your divine assignment. Trust that nothing you have lost was actually meant for you. If it was part of your destiny, it would have stayed and it would have grown with you. The fact that it broke away means it was not strong enough to carry you into your future. You are being prepared for a massive shift. Soon, the struggle of the past few months will feel like a distant memory. You will look back and be thankful that things didn't work out the way you wanted, because God had something much better in mind. You are being positioned for a breakthrough that will exceed your expectations. Keep your head high and your heart protected. You have shown that you can handle deep emotions and stay kind even when things get difficult. That is a rare quality that God treasures. Your reward is not just a person, but a life filled with purpose and true alignment. The next season of your life is about receiving everything you once had to beg for. It will feel natural, it will feel easy, and it will be worth the wait. You have done the hard work, and now it is time to sit back and watch how beautifully your story unfolds. Recognizing the right person when they arrive will feel completely different from anything you have experienced before. One of the clearest signs that someone has passed their own tests is the lack of confusion they bring into your life. You will no longer have to decode text messages, guess where you stand, or wonder if they are about to pull away. The right person will offer you consistency instead of intensity. They will meet your depth with their own, and instead of being intimidated by your light, they will be inspired by it. This is how you know the divine preparation is complete. When this person enters your world, you will notice that your nervous system feels calm. In the past, you might have mistaken anxiety for chemistry or sparks, but God is leading you toward a love that feels like peace. This person will be someone who has already faced their own mirrors and done their own healing. Because they have mastered themselves, they will not project their fears onto you. They will value the sacred bond you share and will actively work to protect it just as you do. This is the partnership where both students have passed the test and are ready to build a life together. You will also find that you don't have to shrink yourself to make them feel comfortable. With the person who failed, you might have felt like you were too much or too emotional, but the right person will see those qualities as your greatest strengths. They will cherish your wisdom and respect your boundaries. There will be an effortless flow to the relationship where honesty is the default and vulnerability is welcomed. This connection will not drain your energy. It will fuel your purpose and help you become the best version of yourself. This is the ultimate goal of the divine redirection you just went through. God removed the person who was unprepared so that your hands would be empty and ready to receive this new blessing. Everything you learned during the silence and the waiting has prepared you to recognize and keep this high-level love. You are now a person of great discernment, and you will see the truth in people much faster than before. Trust that your heart is safe in God's hands. The wait is almost over, and the peace you are about to experience will prove that every part of this journey was worth it. As you step into this new reality, you will begin to notice a shift in your own spirit. You are no longer the person who accepts breadcrumbs or waits by the phone for a sign of effort. This transformation is the final evidence that the test served its purpose. You have traded your longing for a sense of knowing. There is a quiet confidence that radiates from you now because you understand that your value is not a topic for debate. By letting go of the person who failed, you have made room for a version of yourself that is completely whole and unafraid. This wholeness is what will act as a magnet for your true destiny. When you are no longer searching for someone to fix or someone to wait for, you become visible to those who are on your level. You will find that you are no longer interested in potential. You are only interested in presence. You are looking for someone who shows up, stays, and speaks the truth. Because you have been through the fire of disappointment and came out stronger, you can now spot a sincere heart from a mile away. Your intuition has become your greatest protector, and it will never let you settle for less again. The universe is now aligning circumstances in your favor. Doors that were previously stuck will start to swing open, and the right people will appear in your life without you having to force a single connection. This is the reward for your faithfulness and your courage. You didn't just survive the loss of that person. You used it as a stepping stone to reach a higher ground. You have proven to God and to yourself that you can handle the truth even when it hurts, and that you will always choose growth over comfort. Your story is now becoming a testimony for others. People will look at your peace and wonder how you stayed so steady through the storm. You will be able to tell them that you trusted the process and believed in a plan that was bigger than your own. You are moving into a season of abundance where your heart will be full and your mind will be at rest. The person who failed was just a chapter, but you are the author, and the best parts of your book are currently being written. Everything is working together for your good, and the peace you feel right now is just the beginning of a beautiful new life. Finally, you must realize that this entire journey was never truly about the person who left, but about the person you were becoming. The most beautiful part of this process is the moment you wake up and realize you no longer feel the heavy weight of that connection. You have reached a place of emotional sovereignty where your happiness is no longer tied to their choices or their growth. You have successfully navigated the desert of their silence and found your own well of strength. This is the true meaning of passing the test. You didn't just wait for the storm to pass, you learned how to walk through it with your head held high. As you stand in this new light, you will see that your perspective on love has completely shifted. You now understand that a divine connection is not something you have to fight for, but something that flows with ease. You are ready to receive a love that is as steady as your own heart. The lessons you have gathered, the clarity, the patience, and the self-respect are now the foundation for your future. You are no longer looking for someone to fill a hole in your life. You are looking for someone to share the fullness you have already found. This shift in energy is what makes you truly unstoppable. God is now closing the book on your past struggles and opening a fresh page. The people who are meant to be in your life will start to appear, and they will recognize the light you carry immediately. You won't have to explain your worth or prove your value to them. They will see you, they will honor you, and they will stay. This is the peace that was promised to you. You are moving into a time of deep satisfaction where your outside world finally matches the beauty of your inner world. Everything that was taken from you is being replaced with something of much higher quality. Keep moving forward with total trust. The path behind you is growing dim because it no longer leads anywhere, but the path ahead is bright with new possibilities. You are a person of great depth and divine purpose, and the world is waiting for the version of you that has been refined by these experiences. Your heart is healed, your vision is clear, and your spirit is ready. Believe that the best is not just coming, but is already arriving in your life right now. You are exactly where you are supposed to be, and the next chapter is going to be your most powerful one yet. In this final stage of your journey, you will find that your memory of the person who failed the test begins to change. You will no longer remember them with a sense of pain or longing, but with a quiet sense of gratitude for the lesson they provided. You will see that their inability to meet your needs was actually a gift that saved you from a life of settling. This is the moment of true release. When you can look back at the situation and feel nothing but peace, you know that you have fully healed. You are no longer bound by the what ifs or the why me, because you have embraced the what is next. This new version of you is much more observant and much less anxious. You have developed a spiritual maturity that allows you to sit back and watch people's actions without feeling the need to control the outcome. You understand that if someone is meant to be in your life, they will match your effort and respect your time. This lack of desperation is your new superpower. It makes you a magnet for high-quality experiences and sincere people. You are now moving through the world with a sense of royalty, knowing that your heart is a prize that must be earned through consistency and truth. As the days go by, you will notice that the universe is bringing you small signs of encouragement. You might meet people who reflect your new values, or you might find yourself in opportunities that align perfectly with your passions. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations that you are on the right path. God is rewarding your courage for letting go of what was broken. You are being rewarded for choosing to trust the invisible plan over the visible disappointment. Your life is becoming a reflection of your internal growth, and the beauty of what is coming will far outweigh the struggle of what has passed. The final realization is this: you were never losing anything. You were only being refined. The test was a process of stripping away the old to make room for the extraordinary. You have emerged from this season with a heart that is not only healed but is also much stronger. You are now ready to step into your destiny with full confidence, knowing that you have been tested and found worthy. The future holds a love and a purpose so deep that you will one day look back and smile, realizing that every moment of silence was leading you to this exact point of arrival. Your story is a success, and your best days are now beginning. As you move into this final space of clarity, you will notice that your intuition has become a sharp and reliable guide. You no longer need to seek outside advice to know if someone is right for you, because your own spirit speaks with a clear voice. You have learned that when something is from God, it does not feel like a constant struggle. It does not feel like a puzzle you are desperately trying to solve. Instead, it feels like a gradual unfolding of truth. This internal compass is the greatest gift you gained from the person who failed their test. You had to experience the wrong connection to fully recognize and honor the right one when it finally stands before you. The wisdom you carry now is not just for your own protection, but for your future legacy. You are breaking cycles of pain and settling that may have followed your family for generations. By choosing to walk away from a connection that did not honor your soul, you have set a new standard for everyone who comes after you. You are showing the world that it is better to be alone and at peace than to be in a relationship that requires you to abandon yourself. This level of self-respect is a rare light in a world that often encourages people to settle for less than they deserve. You have become a pioneer of your own happiness. The universe is now responding to your new vibration by bringing you opportunities and people that reflect your growth. You will start to find yourself in rooms where you are celebrated for exactly who you are. You will find friends who support your vision and a community that holds you up. This is the elevation part of the process. When you remove the weight of people who cannot carry your light, you naturally rise to a higher level of existence. Your life is becoming more beautiful, more simple, and more meaningful. The static of the past has been replaced by the music of your own destiny. You are now standing at the doorway of a life that you once only dreamed of. The person who failed the test was simply a character in a chapter that has now ended. Do not waste another moment wondering about their path. Your focus is required for the masterpiece you are currently building. You have everything you need to succeed. You have the strength of a survivor and the heart of a healer. As you close this chapter for good, take a deep breath and step forward with total confidence. Your story is no longer about the test they failed, but about the amazing life you are choosing to live. You are blessed, you are chosen, and your greatest victory is already here.